Ryan asked, where do you see FSU in terms of brand ranking? It seems they're regarded as a tier below Florida or Penn State or Texas A&M, even though they have equal or greater program success. Asking from Tallahassee by way of Coconut Creek. This is a really fascinating question. What is brand ranking, you say? I guess we're literally talking about how we would rank the brands. Let's just ask ourselves this. This is a really good interactive question here. So you sitting in the office right now, listening to this pod when you should be working, bless you for that, first off. And secondly, since you're already not working anyway, let me ask you a question. When I mentioned Florida State, what do you think of? You probably think of Chief Osceola. You think football. There's no doubt in my mind you think football. You may think Bobby Bowden. You may think Warwick, like you may think figures, but ultimately it comes back to football. And that, I think, is some of what we're asking here. What is brand? Because with Texas A&M, if you were to mention Texas A&M, they would think football, but they would think bigger than football. They would think oil money. They would think agriculture. There are people across the country, in other words, that would associate Texas A&M with more than just football. When you mention Penn State, there are certain people would think academics. A lot of people would think academics. They would think football too, but there are things bigger beyond just the football field that people associate with Penn State. With Florida State, I don't think that's the case. Now, here's what that's a byproduct of. It's a byproduct of marketing machines, just behemoths in marketing and PR in State College, Pennsylvania, and in College Station, Texas, that you may not necessarily have at your disposal in Tallahassee, Florida. The pockets are just not as deep at Florida State, especially in that vein. And so I guess that's part of the reason, I think. I think there's a concerted effort in increasing the brand value and brand awareness. They can afford to do it at Penn State and A&M a lot more than they can at Florida State. Now, here's the follow-up. This is not a marketing podcast. This is not an economics pod. It's not the U.S. World Academic Rankings podcast. So, frankly, I don't even care about most of what I just said. I care about college football. So, your brand being associated with college football, that's a positive in our book. I can tell you confidently, at Pate State, we take care of things in the classroom. We are pillars in our community, but we don't necessarily talk about it all that much. We talk about what we do on the football field because that's what matters to us. So brand ranking, yeah, it matters. I can tell you the quickest way to solving that is just go win some football games. When you're winning more, when you're competing for championships, you get a bigger platform. You get in the more high-profile games. Therefore, you get to run your marketing campaigns during commercial breaks of the high-profile games. And you also get your brand on bigger stages. And all of a sudden, people realize, oh, Florida State football, and then they realize, oh, there's a little more to it. And you get to know the athletes more, and you get to know their stories more, and there's a human component. Whereas right now, you may just think of them as the sticker on the side of their helmet. That's how that always happens. Like, which brand, I would ask you, which brand out there's flourishing right now that's been terrible in football? None of them have. So it's a kind of a yin and yang thing. And hopefully, when we're looking at the 2023 college football playoff title odds, and we see 2, 4, 6, we see Florida State in the 8th spot, right there neck and neck with Clemson. Maybe we are on the fast track to check in that box.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.